Welcome back, people. It's Alpha Bob. We are back with Alpha Joe and his 5 billion ISK quest. We see that Joe has a nice assortment of relic sites and is alone in this system. This is the perfect way to be safe with over 4 billion ISK in your cargo. Make that amount close to 4.5 billion ISK. Now for this hack. Aim for the opposite side, going through the middle. Blocked. Try the bottom route. We have to kill the spider virus. Bottom is blocked. Let's try the top. A couple of nice tools. We must kill this virus. The system core could be near. Remember the rule of 8. Found the core. Collect the loot. The next hack should be easy. Oh crap, not enough cargo space. We knew this was coming. 5 billion ISK of loot takes up some space. Inside the small secure container, we can see 8 million ISK of loot, which is taking up 120 cubic meters of cargo space. The idea is to store all the low-value loot together in one spot so we can jettison it when we need extra space. Alpha Joe selects the detail view on the inventory window. And now he orders the loot by volume. He chooses these 2 items, which take up a lot of space, but are barely worth 1 million ISK. All aboard, Joe is about to ride the struggle bus. Sit back and watch Joe try to jettison these items. He searches for the jettison button, but it's not there. After a bit of confusion, Joe thinks he can launch the container into space, and that will allow the jettison button to appear. But dragging the container into space didn't work, so Joe tries the launch for self button. But that fails because there are other containers within 5,000 meters. Joe is all sorts of confused. I think he's looking for something in his main cargo to jettison, but stuff here is too valuable. I'm not sure what is going on inside his head now. Okay, this makes sense. He decides to warp to a bookmark. Better to figure this out somewhere safe. What Joe is slowly realizing is that you can't jettison stuff unless it's in your main cargo. Okay, now he can launch the small container into space. And he tries to transfer all that loot back to his ship. It doesn't all fit, so he tries just one item. Need to make some more room. He moves the intact armor plates, the most valuable loot, but it frees up only a little bit of cargo space. which now he realizes. Switching back to the detailed view of cargo, he searches for something with more volume. This should do it. Now the other items can be moved. Time to jettison these low-value items. And we'll place some of the other low-value items back into the container. There must be a better way to move all this loot. Now Joe has enough space to reach 5 billion ISK of loot. He flies back to the container to collect the loot he couldn't fit from earlier. Now the loot fits. We will skip ahead to watch some hacks with large ISK amounts. Here we are, hacking a 17 million ISK container. Not the largest, but a good representation of what you'll come across in Null. Remember, work towards the opposite side you start from. Use the shield tool for these 2 virus spots. Collect the loot. Joe is now at 4.5 billion ISK. Will this next Relic site add to that total? First can, 37 million ISK. Next can, a whopping 103 million ISK. A couple of duds, so we ignore them. Last can, 15 million ISK. Let's go, don't mess up. 3 hacks for 150 million ISK. Always working towards the opposite side. Nothing too difficult. 37 million collected. Here comes the 103 million ISK hack. This start is in the middle. The system core can be anywhere. The rule of 8 doesn't apply here. But we will still take advantage of these rule of 6 spots. Joe should clear that virus. The numbers were low. We found a tool for that virus. And we found that system core. Joe is now 103 million ISK richer. A new player has entered the system. Joe thinks he has time for this last hack. He's flying an Anathema, which is a Tier 2 frigate and is normally just an explorer ship. But remember to treat everyone as a potential hunter. Got it. Now fly away, Joe.
Warp drive active.
We see probes. This guy is scanning. Joe decides to stay and scan a couple more sites. This guy is within D-scan range, and so are his probes. This means the FAR signature might be available. Joe scans down the far site and warps directly to it. Since this Relic site is further than D-scan range, we know that other player isn't there. And those other 2 players have been docked up for a long while. Joe lowers the range to 5 AU on the D-scan. This will help watch for any incoming ships. Those probes on D-scan are from the other player. He's scanning this site now, and could warp here at any time. But Joe is greedy and doesn't fear the danger. Just a bit more ISK is all Joe wants. Okay, Joe, you got the 23 million ISK. Now is a good time to log out. I take no responsibility from this point on. I'm out of here. You can stay and watch more of Joe, but for me, goodbye and happy hacking.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.